And tonight, Stockton police are still searching for the person or persons that they believe are responsible for shooting and killing 6 people. Now, all the crimes happening in the dark when people were all alone. Police say the first known killing was on April 10th, 2021. A 39-year-old in Oakland was shot and killed at 4:18 in the morning. 6 days later, on April 16th, an unhoused woman survived a shooting at Park and Union Street in South Stockton. On July 8th, 2022, 35-year-old Paul Yaw was shot and killed in Stockton on Kermit Lane. Late this summer, on August 11th, 43-year-old Salvador DeBeauty Jr. was killed off West Lane near March Lane. On August 30th, just before 7 in the morning, 21-year-old Jonathan Hernandez Rodriguez was killed on East Hammer Lane near Tam O'Shanter Drive. On September 21st, 52-year-old Juan Cruz was killed on Manchester Avenue. And 6 days later, on September 27th, 54-year-old Lawrence Lopez Sr. was killed on Porter Avenue near Gettysburg Place. And right now, Stockton Mayor Kevin Lincoln is hosting a public safety town hall with community group Faith in the Valley. They are addressing concerns as the search continues for a possible serial killer. ABC 10 is there tonight, and you can also watch this on Faith in the Valley's Facebook page. They did tell me earlier today that they have Spanish-speaking translators so that all community members can be a part of this situation, because Stockton is on edge right now. There's rising violence in the city. And I also went down to Stockton today to speak with Mayor Kevin Lincoln and community organizer Tony McNeil one-on-one to really find out what's going on. If you had to say one thing to those family members who were impacted by this string of killings, what would you say to them right now?
There's no words that I can say right now. There's nothing that I can, or this city could physically do right now that will bring back the loved one that you lost. But you can rest assured that this city is not going to leave one stone unturned.
And what about for the people of Stockton who are concerned or really making sure their doors are locked at night, or, you know, they're looking over their shoulder when they go to the grocery store? What do you say to those people who are living here and living in this every single day?
What I say to those people is public safety will always remain my top priority as mayor of the city of Stockton. It's going to always remain the top priority of every single elected official for this city and our staff. It will always remain the top priority. But what I also would say to the public is that we can't do this without you.
So when you say crime, it's going into crime prevention is what you're saying. What does that look like? Does that look like more law enforcement on the streets? Does it look like programs? What are specific tangible examples?
It looks like more law enforcement officers on the street. It looks like the ability for us to do community outreach, the ability to engage our trusted community partners when it comes to violence reduction, intervention efforts, and ultimately prevention.
And do you feel like the money gained from that measure, do you feel like it's helping?
Absolutely, absolutely. When our ceasefire model was initially introduced in early 2012 timeframe, we've seen a drastic reduction in homicides and overall crime over the years. 2012 was the peak for the city of Stockton with 71 homicides. This year, we have 43 homicides to date, but you'll see over the years, as you look at the trend, there's crime and homicides, it goes in ebbs and flows.
Just 2 miles down the street from Stockton City Hall, I met up with community leader Tony McNeil of Faith in the Valley. In the community, are people nervous? Are they scared? I mean, are people really locking their doors at night? What's the sentiment right now?
Yeah, so people really are locking their doors. People really are nervous, even the folks on the block. So homies on the street, going home, they're either trying to make sure that they're not outside, you know, being like misrepresented or targeted by law enforcement, right? Because, you know, you've got a profile. But I mean, you know, anybody in that height and description might fit that profile. So it's like you don't want to be found in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Do you feel like between crime prevention and law enforcement, do you feel like they're stepping up in a real way?
I do feel like they're there and that they are fully present. And this is unique in asking that question, because to be fully transparent, I've been organizing for 6 years. And we've had highs and lows, you know, when it's come to
That ebbs and flows.
yeah,
Ebbs and flows.
when it comes to our relationship in the community. And now I'm talking about communities of colors that are over policed, that are marginalized. I'm talking about my Latino brothers and sisters and my Black brothers and sisters and Southeast Asian communities that are impoverished, you know, and tend to be in hot spots, and we see law enforcement show up in a different way. Right now, in this particular moment, even the hotspot communities have shared feedback that they feel like law enforcement is showing up right. That's huge. That's huge. For Black and brown people to feel like that Stockton PD is present when they need them to be, as opposed to when they don't need them to be, that's huge. That says a lot. And we appreciate news. News is great, all of that, it really is. But it's one thing then when you have leadership coming together to specifically address you in person, it gives a different resolve and a different sense of safety, a different sense of awareness, and it doesn't leave so much room for the imagination. And so even for me as an organizer, just wanting to make sure that I'm creating space. I just need my Spanish-speaking brothers and sisters to know that they belong here and that they're part of this community, that we see them, that we love them, and that we are fiercely advocating for them.
And their voices matter. Their voices matter.
Yeah.
Tony, thank you so much. We appreciate it. I also spoke to Tony about the narrative around crime in Stockton, where a lot of people are just saying, oh, this is Stockton. You know, we've seen people saying that online and, you know, writing about it. And she says that Stockton is the bowl that has just really caught people that have been pushed out of other cities that they can't afford to live in anymore. She says Stockton does not get a lot of resources and that it's just dealing with a lot of problems.